My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, when he calls, I barely picks up. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, when he calls and my son's not around, I don't pick up because what the fuck do we got to talk about? My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, he goes half with me on my rent and he never been to my house. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, I don't believe the jail talk. Duh. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, he bought me this car. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, when he asks for pictures, I just send pictures of our son and not myself because, come on now, duh. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, I make sure he eats without him telling me his food order because I've been doing this shit. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, I don't go visit him. My baby daddy's in prison. Of course, he's nosy as fuck and he always needs something.
My baby daddy is in jail. Y'all don't have to keep calling me, texting me, sending me this damn picture. Trust me, I know the man is in jail, okay? Y'all all talking about something. Don't do him like that. Don't do him like... I'm not going to tell the world that his wife had cheated on him with Brandy Redmond's 25-year-old son. I'm not going to tell the world that. Like, why would I even do that? Why would I tell the world that when he tried to go get his clothes, she had punched him and then sent him to jail? I was not going to do that. Like, it's Chris Brown's birthday this month. Why would I do that?
Like, so I feel like it depends with the 9 to 5. Everything. Like, if you 9 to 5 at Burger King or something, hell no. But if you 9 to 5 at
my favorite
JP Morgan or something, hell yeah. Because I know that Friday check about to have multiple.
That little bank shit, that's a fraud. I might as well get a fraud.
I don't know.
You work in the bank too, shit, technically. Like,
I don't
So
know.
so if you work at the bank,
no, I don't want you.
So let's say this work at the bank making $500,000 a year. You don't want that?
You can give me a bank. Give me a banker, a doctor, a lawyer.
Now, if you doing that shit
specialist, not a pediatrician,
shit,
a specialist.
if you doing that shit to cover up some shit, like, let's say the that work in the bank sell f***ing drugs. Like, I'm with it. Period.
What the f***?
You on him. You on him.
Y'all, my baby daddy just got locked up. Looking at 25 years. So,
under the jail. Under the jail. They know they better keep him forever under the jail.
I swear to God, y'all, I had a young lady tell me before that she wanted a drug dealer. That was her dream guy. She wanted to date a drug dealer. And I got her way, and I hope that she found her way with that drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've known guys, bro, like they got with a beautiful young lady, or they got with a young lady who they liked a lot, and they changed their whole thing and try to fit this persona. Where she like young ladies too, like they changed their whole persona to try to be what this guy like. If a person don't accept you for who you are and want to grow who you are as a person, don't conform to who they want you to be, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, don't get out here taking up penitentiary charges, trying to deal drugs because she want a drug dealer. You like her a lot. Young lady, don't get out here trying to fight with these other young ladies because you feel like this, he your nigga, and this the best that you can do. That's stupid. If a person is not trying to elevate you, bro, they're not trying to. If a person can't meet you to where you are and try to elevate you, it's the waste of your fucking time, bro. Don't get out here trying to deal drugs, my nigga. They try to please this young lady. Young lady, don't get out here trying to pop your ass and try to be a certain way on me to try to appease him. Man, if a motherfucker don't accept people who they are, you ain't got no business letting them know who you are if they're not trying to elevate you. You see what I'm saying? If a person is trying to, if you gotta change who you are to fit what they like, man, you leave that shit alone, man.
Quick, I'm gonna cut this part 2 where I talked about the 9 to 5 and pretty much the trickle down effect of the 9 to 5 of women saying they don't want to date a 9 to 5 guy. And the trickle down effect is when you don't want to date 9 to 5 guys and you want to date hustlers, scammers, drug dealers. And even, you know, when I was putting clips in the video, was a guy that was saying that even entrepreneurs work. They can't just pick up and leave like women believe entrepreneurs can pick up and leave. And he made a fantastic point, you know, when he said that. Yeah, they can't just pick up and leave when they want to. But the trickle down effect is when you go for these type of guys, it affects your children. So you dealing with a scammer or a drug dealer, what do you think your daughter gonna look? I'm gonna tell you this, children learn they learn faster and they pick up by more of what you do and not what you say. And what you say to your children or to the youth, what you say to them it registers down the line. I know people think, oh, this dude ain't listening to me, but I'm listening to you. But we put it in our brains, and then down the line, we go through situations, or we could be just sitting there on the porch and it hit us like, damn, that's what he meant, or that's what he meant, or that's what she meant. And it hit you. Like, we hear you. A lot of us, we hear and we put it in our system, but we don't really compute it until life start lifing. You know what I mean? But the trickle down effect is now you got this scammer, hustler, drug dealer, and it's in your son's DNA. He see it. He want to be like his father. You can get a stepfather who work hard, blue collar, and try to get him on the right path. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But in general, when you dealing with the drug dealers, the scammers, or quote unquote the hustlers, you know what I'm saying? They don't have time to be productive parents. They don't have time. What life lessons can they really give your son other than how to hustle? Other than they vices, also all about the money. It's all about the hustle. Never get a 9 to 5. 9 to 5s is for losers. 9 to 5s is for lames. I ain't never worked. So your son got out there, he don't work. He end up going to jail. These scammers and drug dealers and stuff, they not putting your kids through private school. Your Gucci bag's fake. Your Ferragamo belt fake. Your Louis bag fake. Y'all still in the hood. Y'all not in a great house. Because how we have so many women having testimonies online telling me I want the scammer and the drug dealer, but you still look like that. You still live in the hood. You still live in the bricks. You still live in public housing. What good did it get you? But like I said, a lot of these black women in general, they go for the little shit, the bags, the purses, not even the luxury cars. So at that point, this is how you get an ecosystem or a dating market of men who don't want to work, men who want to hustle, men who want to scam, but there's no longevity. There's no guarantee you're going to have money. A scammer might be up $100K, and that's being nice in March. And then by the time April rent come around, he ain't got no money. He got busted or he blew it all. They don't know money management. They're not saving up for a lifetime. And then you go to the point where they say, I want an entrepreneur, a guy that's work. You know, guess what? Yeah, then y'all sit there and y'all complain about, I'm tired of doing all the house duties. I'm raising these kids by myself and I need help at the house. And then, you know, the kids are saying, remember you had that dude that said, oh, I've always worked. My wife never worked. I worked 100 hours. And then the son and them took him on a real life with Ayana, whatever her name is, say, you wasn't here. We don't know you. We'd rather you be at the house. Like I said, you need a balance. It's always should have been a balance. So if you get a guy that's you're an entrepreneur and you building something, you can't just stop and take, even when once it's established, you can't just stop and take vacations when you want to. Like I said in my original video, you get one business venture, you go to the next business, you do it over and over again. You know, this is true. They always traveling. They can't just stop and say, oh, I can remote. Like they have this facade that's the way it is. So your children don't get the role model that they need to get. You know, so now you have a whole bunch of men who don't know their masculine identity. You have a whole bunch of young women who don't have the discipline and structure and don't really know about men. Because of what most of these women can't tell you about a man, what the type of man you should get. Look at who she picked, the drug dealer, the scammer. Or she picked the entrepreneur. She picked the provider that she don't love. So what do you tell a daughter? Even though a lot of women say you should pick the perfect guy, he should mark all your boxes, just make sure he got the money and fuck the character. And as long as he got the money and he could cheat and then your daughter end up in a messed up predicament. She catch him cheating, she crash out. Now she on trial for her life or something. Now she caught something she can't get rid of. Come on. They don't think about their kids, they think about themselves. They don't. They don't understand the trickle down effect of now they getting these men. But what are your son gonna grow up like? He in prison, or he can't really tell your son nothing productive. Come on. Every kid want to grow up and be like their father. Come on. So they don't think about that. When you deal with these guys and you have these guys coming in and out your house, you know what I'm saying? And he's a drug dealer. You think you can hide it from the kids. You sneaking the dude up, thinking the kids sleep. Kids know, dude. Kid know what's going on. And when they get out here and you want your daughter to pick the good guy, the nice guy, no, you already destroyed the DNA. You already destroyed the image. You stay fucking with A shit motherfuckers. You stay, tricking your coochie off to drug dealers and scammers. You stayed in the hood. You didn't get them a better environment. None of that. You be thinking these women be in these luxury neighborhoods. No. More middle class men have their women in better, and with 9-to-5s or entrepreneurs, they still work, right? That's still a job. More responsibility. Some people got jobs that's not entrepreneurs who got less responsibility and make way more money consistently with benefits and all that, right? Some people, where they get in these situations and the middle class man who's doing well, they got their family in a better situation. They got health insurance, they got life insurance policy, they live in the best neighborhoods, they don't live in the ghetto. They women understand we both gonna work, we both gonna raise these kids, we both got each other back. Meanwhile, the bitches that's dealing with the drug dealers and scammers, they living with Latifah. They living in their mama basement. They living house to house. They on public housing. They in the hood. Ain't a Trader Joe's or Whole Foods in sight. They going to save a lot. But they got their fake Gucci bag. But hey, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. I appreciate the love and support. Peace.
Oh, you gotta watch this.
To my mind the other day, or not the other day, earlier today. You know how they have like the Big Brother program for like, your kids can have siblings? They need to do that with good men who want to be a dad to somebody. So that way there's a program to where I take my kids who don't have a father, and I'm sure not going to attempt to get one because I cannot stand men in general. They make me want to throw the up in my skin crawl. But that way my kids would be able to go to a place to experience what it's like to have a dad. You know what I mean? Like, think of that. Because someone come up with that for kids that need a dad.
Let's rewind that back.
And I'm damn sure not going to attempt to get one because I cannot stand men in general. They make me want to throw the up in my skin crawl.
I thought that's what she said. Who's signing up for that? I don't know not one man that wants to sign up for that. First of all, you don't respect him. Why would the children respect him? So here's a few things you got to think about before you even jump into this situation. Parenting differences. Since these are not his children, he doesn't have much of a say-so when it comes to discipline. Because right now you like, I need a stepdaddy. I need a stepdaddy. But soon as he do something you don't like, what you doing to my kids? Another reason, child resistance. Look at the mother's attitude and the way she goes about things. You don't think you're going to hear the words, but you not my daddy. You can't tell me what to do. Again, who's signing up for that? Woman, get it together. Focus on you and your children. That's you and their father's responsibility, not the so-called stepdaddy that you don't even like, because you don't like men, remember? Drop your comments. Let me know what you think, because she needs some advice. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, follow. You know what to do. Let's go.
I gotta think of a way to get you a stepfather by tomorrow. I gotta think of a way to get you a stepfather by tomorrow.
I don't need no stepfather.
You do need a stepfather.
No, I don't.
I got bills to pay.
That's the case. If you think that,
Do you think stepfathers are suckers?
do I think stepfathers are suckers? No, hell no. How a stepfather gonna be a sucker? Some of the best men, nigga, know that they would have had a stepdad, nigga, that was a great man. It take a certain kind of man, homie, to come in, nigga, and be a man to a woman and her kids. That ain't no sucker. And they're much needed.
It'd be a lot of talk of don't play another man's save game. Or
That's a weenie nigga. Because nigga, how you not gonna play a nigga save game, but you'll be willing to help as a little league coach? You be willing, homie. How you not go be around a kid and not come on, homie? And you want to fuck on his mama? Very few black women you meet are gonna have no kids to. Yeah, nigga. Even if the daddy is there, you still have to be a stepdaddy. There's nothing wrong with being a good man wherever you are, homie. How that make you a sucker because you a good man in this position, in these conditions? You're a good man because you ain't mistreating no other nigga kids because you like the woman. I like the woman. I like the traits. I like the characteristics. I'm supposed to say this is a deal breaker because she got kids. As a man, I come in and I impact the kid's life too with my presence as a real man. So nah, nigga.